Next article is regarding promote local, produce global quality. Prime Minister to manufacturers. So vocal for local, local to global, and make in India. These are the three major phrases. जब हम बात करते हैं the overall goal of being developing a manufacturing hub, developing India as a manufacturing hub. China plus one strategy की जब हम बात करते हैं as an alternative when we discuss about India and also for its own domestic consumption के लिए भी self-reliance. So these are all the key terms that we can talk about in the manufacturing sectors. Further,
So
जो
like
PLI schemes,
different sectors like automobiles, textiles, aviation, electronics, defense, everywhere we are seeing that exports is constantly on the rise. So yesterday also we were discussing on similar lines that what measures are needed when it comes to boosting India's exports or again achieving the target of 25% GDP contribution of the industrial sector. So the role of MSME is also very important, making them more bankable is one important aspect that of late we are focusing upon so that they have access to formal credit sources and they can achieve that economies of scale benefit so that cost of production can further go down and again through different schemes policy measures like one district one product or for example here as it is mentioned being vocal for local, we are promoting local but we are producing at global quality standards. We are meeting that so that we are again not facing the challenge when it comes to for example non-tariff barriers.
and apart from these, we also discussed regarding the improvement in logistics. कैसे that can help because India में currently 14% के around is contributed to logistics, लेकिन globally it is nearly 8%. तो वही target लेके चल रहे हैं 8 to 9% reduction of the logistics cost. Further, our inequality elephant needs policy attention. So India's latest report card on the economy bears optimism with hints of concern. So fast GDP growth looks secure, but this top line number masks persistent signs of an uneven recovery. So monsoon seems to have delivered good rain, जिसकी वजह से healthy kharif and rabi harvests are likely. So it will reduce the inflationary expectations. Further strains भी है कुछ sectors में such as slowing demand for automobiles and FMCGs among the urban consumers. So both the government and central bank's panel for monetary policy seem unable to acknowledge India's elephant in the room, visible signs of a K-shaped recovery. So K-shaped recovery, as we have discussed several times, in some sectors the growth is high and optimal, but there are some sectors जहाँ पे the growth is not that much, not even visible. So asymmetric distribution of the dividends of growth is more stark in the real estate market. So again, inclusivity की जब हम बात करते हैं, तो whole growth, a whole growth should take place while considering all the sectors here. So inequality elephant with regard to GDP growth. Next, reflections on decades of nations' advances. So old and new photographs showcase the progress China has made in social, economic, and technological aspects. So students use reclining chairs during lunch break at a school in Shanghai on September 2.
So we can say that these pictures they reflect firstly the how infrastructural development has evolved in China, how that is happening through capital expenditure, which has been emphasized from the very beginning, and growth of industrial sector, particularly as these pictures are showcasing, like the old one is showcasing how TVs they are being assembled. So assembly line production was the initial development, and how we can say it has become mechanized. You can see the recent one is showcasing robots, they are doing the work. So as talked in this context also, that in case of India, we have directly leapfrogged from agriculture to the services sector, but in China, this has not happened. China, with the conventional method has been followed, where from agriculture to industrial, then industrial to services. So, but USP for India is the services sector, and USP for China is its industrial sector. So that is why now we are focusing upon where we have more potential of growth. So in case of India, the industrial sector is the one.
Majid, as you just now mentioned regarding capital expenditure, तो again वो बहुत ज़्यादा funds require करता है, and especially private sector investment, क्योंकि again gestation time भी बहुत ज़्यादा होता है कि जब तक government will receive its benefits of the assets. तो currently इंडिया में क्या क्या challenges है with regard to private investment?
We are off late, we are seeing that private investment is increasing. So first we talk about that we need to look into again ease of doing business, how we can better improve that. Then it comes to challenges related to again the land laws, because land procurement is an issue, or it is like takes a lot of time. Then we are also working upon reducing the compliance burden through reforming or reducing the number of laws. For example, when it comes to the labor codes, there were somewhere around I think 150 labor laws that were there. Now we have reduced them and concised them into form of four labor codes. So these are different measures that we have been taking about, and even in the context of, for example, the scale of investment that is needed in the form of even FDI also. So there we talk about the challenge of for example, because of COVID-19, we were seeing that fiscal policy was more important. So their government was relying more upon borrowing of the funds and then injecting that in the form of capital expenditure. So crowding out effect was a challenge at that point of time, because if government borrows that amount of money, so very less is left for the private sector investment. So this is also one thing.
एंड इसमें हम जो नेशनल मोनेटाइजेशन पाइपलाइन की हम बात करते हैं कि जिसमें भी टॉक अबाउट द मोनेटाइजेशन ऑफ एसेट्स जो करंटली क्रिएटेड है, तो उनमें भी वी कैन टेक हेल्प ऑफ द प्राइवेट इन्वेस्टमेंट सो एज टू enhance and utilize the existing infrastructures, be it airports or industries, etc.
Similar lines where we have the Gati Shakti program also. So it is all about like reducing logistics cost. Everything now it is, we are viewing that in the favor of how India can be again a manufacturing hub.
हम्म, तो अगेन यहाँ हम पॉलिसी की इम्पोर्टेंस की भी बात कर सकते हैं कि हाउ दे मैटर। when we talk about नीति आयोग प्लानिंग की बात करता है, प्लानिंग कमीशन, जॉइंट वेंचर कार फैक्ट्री, तो minimizing overproduction and maximizing the manufacturing efficiency. और
So when
even
it
in industries,
again the advantage of demographic dividend in India. So in that we can compare is the three keywords mentioned: smart thinking, agility, and speed, a winning formula. So do we have such types of skills, or the way of working, is it inclined on these skills in case of India's labor force or not, is one of the question.
हम्म एंड इवन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी जब हम बात करते हैं कि इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 4.0, तो in that also computerization, जैसे here also the use of AI is mentioned to monitor changes in consumer demand. तो production होता है in small batches, reducing the waste and keeping inventories flexible. तो क्या क्या new ideas आ रहे हैं and off the shelf automation.
So China में like they have developed the cities on industrial line. They are named as like industrial cities. So
Hmm.
that has benefited in terms of even like, because of that again they are facing the challenge also of overcapacity, but that is driven by external forces of like reduced demand for their goods. So like their manufacturing prowess is largely attributed to the mastery of flexible data driven supply chains, and the line the ones that power these two regions, that is Shein and Temu. So Shein is a name that is now synonymous with ultra fast fashion. So it has revolutionized the way garments are produced and distributed. So it is again supply chain integration, how we are making it so seamless, and again even in terms of countering the challenges, how flexible and how adaptive it can become in case of India.
Further, when we discuss about money laundering, the Financial Action Task Force, तो ये global institution है, which specially takes care of the money laundering aspect. और फिर हम बात करते हैं regarding the terror funding, तो curbing the terror funding and prevention of money laundering. These are the two major aspects. फिर इसमें even the lists are created, जैसे grey list और black list. और FATF के अंडर ही there are several.
The article is focusing upon कि
Yes, sir.
ED कैसे function करता है. FATF नहीं, FATF is again a global watchdog when it comes to uh, dealing with cases related to or curbing money laundering and terrorist financing. So in particularly India's case, we have ED and CBI. So like for example, which are the sources of suspicion which has seen an increase? So cross-border wire transfers. So it was during 2020 and 21, you can see 36% share was or it is in terms of money, 36 million. So this is the data from Financial Intelligence Unit. So cash, cross-border wire transfers, and then suspicious and the transactions, these has been divided. So of it also we see that the share of cash as a part of again the sources of suspicion that is increased. We can talk about again the how much demonetization has been success in order to curb the black money. Apart from this, high
And
value activities.
so we can also talk about the act, जैसे कि FEMA Act की हम बात करते हैं, फिर इसमें role of Interpol, that also becomes important अगर globally we discuss about it. तो PMLA Act also 2002, Prevention of Money Laundering, FEMA 1999, the
So it
low
is not only about
conviction
act,
rate.
we can capacity issues is one of the challenge. There's a wide gap between potential cases and the probes that are being done. So summons issued, you can see that it is 43,000. Searches conducted only 2,000. Persons arrested only 197. So there's a huge gap in this thing also.
Hmm.
So ED is planning a threefold increase in personnel over the next 5 years. Capacity training of state law enforcement officers is very important. So this is a key phrase, capacity training.
Hmm.
Only 20% of the cases have led to prosecution, complaint being filed.
So low conviction rate, capacity issues.
So 1 in 5 predicate offenses, they had a financial angle. So it is because again the challenge because of technology, also more digitization also, that is also aided to this challenge only.
Further, SEBI approves new asset class, faster rights issue. So new approved a slew of measures, including the introduction of new asset class, faster rights issue process, and ASBA-like facility for secondary market.
So the new asset class that has been created again under this mutual funds light framework for the fund houses launching only passively managed schemes. This is rupees, the minimum ticket size is rupees 10 lakhs for high risk takers. And these regulations regarding the mutual fund light, for example, the asset management companies, they're launching only the passive funds. Even existing ones, they can hive off passive schemes in a separate group. So tighter insider trading norms have been kicked in and easing the nomination from 3 to 10, simplifying the process with minimum documentation. So that again, we can see more number of IPOs, but again, that has to be in a transparent and accountable manner. So timeline for the rights issues has been reduced to only 23 working days from earlier 317 days. Tracking the macro indicators. So macro indicators, what we firstly simply what are macro indicators? So these are also called high frequency indicators, which showcases the changing pattern or the changing trend of economic growth. So first is the core sector. So it shrinks in August in terms of percentage. It has shrinked by close to 2%. So eight core sectors are there in India. Then we have centers expenditure again as a part of the budget expenditure. So for example, you're tracking fiscal deficit. So at 27% of the target for the financial year 2025. So it is at again 21%. So it has increased. That is a challenge. Current account balance is again another macro indicator which is important in order to track the pattern or the trend in trade. So here also it is in deficit minus 1.1. So in the previous quarter, you can see it was positive. So it means that it was in surplus. The current account particularly was in surplus. So it indicates that we had more exports compared to what we were importing.
So Indian firms seek fast clearance of power dues by Bangladesh. So NTPC Vidyut Vyapar Nigam. So outstanding dues to this Nigam, it stands at rupees 450 crore. So India exported power worth 1.3 billion to the neighboring country. So supplies from Adani Power's Goda plant in Jharkhand met 7 to 10% of Bangladesh's peak power demand. So India's current account deficit widened marginally to $9.7 billion or 1.1% of the gross domestic product. The accretion to forex reserves. So
So firstly,
Mansi,
the यहाँ पे components mentioned है, सारे components mentioned है. For example, when it comes to like the uh, net foreign direct investment is one of the component. Then we have net inflows under the external commercial borrowings. That is one thing. Then NRI deposits is one aspect or one component of it. Merchandise trade है ही, then invisibles में services trade की हम बात करते हैं. FDI, FPI, that is also a component.
net tax mop-up growth falls below BE. So center's gross tax revenue in the first 5 months of financial 2025 stood at 13.3 lakh crore, so 12% higher than the corresponding period of last year. The Controller General of Accounts showed on Monday.
So here, firstly, the trend is important in terms of which are different types of taxes which are contributing largest to the government's tax revenue. First is income tax, then we have central GST, or we can simply say GST also. Third, we have corporate tax. So this GST has taken the position of corporate tax, and then after that we have excess duty and then customs duty.
And अगर इन जनरल बात करते हैं डायरेक्ट और इनडायरेक्ट में, तो डायरेक्ट टैक्स 55% कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं टू द गवर्नमेंट्स रेवेन्यू एंड 45% इज बाय द इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस.
So it is often stated that what are the other measures through which we can increase the tax revenue. So firstly is always that we are focusing more upon widening the tax base. So as we go with the numbers, for example, only 4 to 5% of India's total population is paying taxes. So you can imagine the scope that exists, but again, the challenge is again 90% of India's labor force is informal. So how we are working upon making it more formal, more structured. And then another question that is raised is that we can also impose tax on agriculture sector, which and in that also particularly like creamy layer can be firstly included in this aspect. So there's huge scope. And apart from this, we've been talking about structural reforms in the form of digitization through like faceless income tax filing system, even GST that is also completely digital, like GST and network is working. So Laffer curve is one aspect that if we increase the tax, so there's one peak level of tax revenue that is generated by increasing the tax rate. After that, if we go ahead with increasing the tax rate, the tax revenue will fall. So the challenge is identifying which is that ideal tax rate where we achieve that peak demand of or the peak level of tax revenue.
And वो fall क्यों करेगा?
फॉल इसलिए करेगा बिकॉज देन एक्सेस ऑफ अगर आप एक टैक्स रेट कहाँ तक इंक्रीज करोगे, टैक्स रेट अगर इंक्रीज हो रहा है देन इट लीड्स टू ट्रेड ऑफ बिटवीन हाउ मच यू प्रेफर टू वर्क हार्ड, हाउ मच यू प्रेफरिंग, हाउ मच टाइम यू आर डिवोटिंग टू go on a job and earn, and how much you want to spend in a leisure time. अगर आप इतना ज्यादा हार्ड वर्क करके the amount you are earning, suppose अगर उसका 50-60% it is going in the form of tax, तो why would you be willing to work?
तो सिमिलर केस जो भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में हो रहा है, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट इंक्रीजिंग द टैक्स ऑन द मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एटसेट्रा, तो उन एरियाज में द गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट एक्टिंग मच, जैसे विद रिगार्ड टू एक्साइज टैक्स एटसेट्रा. और फॉर द जीएसटी के रिगार्डिंग अगर हम बात करते हैं स्पेसिफिकली कि कैसे, तो रेट रैशनलाइजेशन के बारे में भी डिस्कस्ड कि कैसे जो मास प्रोडक्ट्स है, एसेंशियल आइटम्स है, उन पे इट शुड बी डिक्रीज एंड ऑन द लेजर आइटम्स द टैक्स रेट्स दे कैन बी इंक्रीज. फर्दर टैक्स स्लैब को भी चेंज करने की बात हो रही थी टू 5, 9, 18 एंड 27 फ्रॉम द करंट 5 दैट आर एग्जिस्टिंग, and also creation of specific categories, 3 categories rather than specific tax rates, जिससे कि compliance और ease enhance होएगा, or tax evasion can also be prevented in such ways. So this I've already covered. Core sector output, it contracts in August. So major 8 industries: coal, crude oil, natural gas, refinery products, cement and electricity.
तो इसमें हाईएस्ट शेयर होता है रिफाइनरी प्रोडक्ट्स का, इट इज क्लोज टू 10 to 11% इन ऑल द 8 core sectors, and lowest is of fertilizer. And overall जो core sectors हैं, they are contributing 40% share to the index of industrial production. So we should remember, because these type of questions are asked, that it is more than 50% or less than 50%. So it is less than 50%.
Further, RBI flags irregularities in gold loan practices. So RBI has uncovered significant irregularities in the processing of loans against gold jewelry by supervised entities. So review and on-site inspections of select financial institutions. So processing में there are several deficiencies. So again, changing in guidelines, etc., it can take place. The shortcomings in use of third parties for sourcing and appraisal of loans.
So valuation of gold without the presence of customer, then thirdly, inadequate due diligence and the lack of end use monitoring the gold loan. So these are the challenges, which is again, it might lead to chances of even increased, we can say NPAs also, and even the money that is being raised so easily through the third parties where that money is actually being used. If it is used for illegal activities, then what? So that is also one of the concerns. There are less chances of NPAs because then the collateral is gold that can be sold off.
Hmm. Further, when we talk about India's middle income trap, the World Development Report is a sobering pointer on the need to be humble and nimble, else it will take 75 years for India to reach even a quarter of US GDP. So, Schumpeterian economics, तो मिडिल इनकम ट्रैप, तो ये होता क्या है? जो मिडिल इनकम इकोनॉमीज होती हैं, दे अंडरगो सिस्टमैटिक स्लो डाउन्स एंड रिमेन ट्रैप्ड इन देयर मिडिल इनकम. स्पेसिफिकली ट्रैप कब होता है? व्हेन अ कंट्री रीचेस अबाउट 11% of the GDP per capita of the US. तो क्यों ऐसा होता है? तो आफ्टर ऑल वी नो दैट इट टेक्स टू शेप अ डेवलप्ड इकोनॉमी, तो सॉलिड मैक्रोइकोनॉमिक फाउंडेशन इज रिक्वायर्ड, इन्वाइटिंग बोथ डोमेस्टिक एंड फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट, स्ट्रॉन्ग इंस्टीट्यूशंस होने चाहिए एंड क्लीन गवर्नेंस. तो डिमिनिशिंग रिटर्न्स होते हैं फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, जिसकी वजह से फर्दर द कंट्री द ग्रोथ कैन नॉट हैपन. तो स्लोइंग प्रोडक्टिविटी एंड अंडर वैल्यूड एक्सचेंज, दीज आर द रीजंस हियर. और सोल्यूशन की बात करते हैं, तो कैसे हो सकता है? तो इन्वेस्टमेंट, इन्फ्यूजन एंड इनोवेशन, और द थ्री आईज, तो दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हियर. सबसे पहले तो जो प्राइमरीली लोअर मिडिल इनकम कंट्रीज हैं, दे शुड कॉम्प्लीमेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट विद इन्फ्यूजन, जहाँ पे फोकस इज ऑन इमिटेटिंग एंड डिफ्यूजिंग मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजीज. फिर इन्वेस्टमेंट और इन्फ्यूजन को मिक्स करना, ताकि जो अपर मिडिल इनकम कंट्रीज है, दे बिकम मॉडर्न इनोवेटर्स देमसेल्व्स. तो नाइस आर्टिकल, एंड इसमें आइडियाज आल्सो मेंशन्ड हियर. जापान एंड कोरिया का एग्जांपल है ऑफ द टू ट्रांजिशंस. तो कैसे जो टेक्नोलॉजी है दैट इज वेरी वेल इंटीग्रेटेड विद डेवलपमेंट. तो पॉलिसी डॉक्यूमेंट इज रिक्वायर्ड हियर फॉर द पार्ट टुवर्ड्स बीइंग अ डेवलप्ड कंट्री.
Can be drawn for India is that India's journey. So we have transitioned from the low income economy to the low middle income economy in 2007. Then in 2022, our per capita income has increased from close to like $1,000 per capita to $2,400, which is only 3% of the USA's per capita income, and that is $76,590 per person. India is at $2,400 only. So evidence suggests that this middle income trap starts at around 11% US GDP. This we have seen. So in case of India, we can talk about, so only यहाँ पे तो सिर्फ numbers के form में दे रखा है. So challenge is again, or the measures that India is taking to prevent this middle income trap is that firstly, we are focusing more upon the manufacturing sector through more capacity generation. Skills training is important aspect. Then we are focusing upon labor intensive sectors, so that again there is less of mechanization in the sense that it is not replacing jobs. It should aid in terms of enhancing the efficiency of working. Then we are focusing simultaneously upon inclusion of critical technology at the same time. Then we are using again data driven economy when it comes to again data analytics. So scientific and again planned decisions, so that we are again on track in terms of being in sync with what are the market changes that are happening. So their supercomputers or quantum computers can help us. In terms of that also, right now we are focusing more upon increasing our expenditure as far as research and development is also concerned. So MSME sector, or when it comes to even the informal sector, so more of formalization is important. So that again, inequality angle is also simultaneously addressed.
So startups needing a digital registry. तो रजिस्ट्री करंटली कहाँ पर होती है? DPIIT, डिपार्टमेंट फॉर प्रमोशन ऑफ इंडस्ट्री एंड इंटरनल ट्रेड. तो भास्कर इनिशिएटिव, इट वाज रिसेंटली लॉन्च्ड. तो भारत स्टार्टअप नॉलेज एक्सेस रजिस्ट्री. तो ये एक यूनिफाइड प्लेटफॉर्म इकोसिस्टम प्रोवाइड करने की बात कर रहा है फॉर द स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम. तो क्रॉस कोलैबोरेशन, नेटवर्किंग, all these areas they can be discussed about. So this will help in policy driven growth और long term objectives को calculate करने में. And further, platform is for a diverse set of users across the ecosystem, aspiring entrepreneurs, startup founders, students, investors, mentors. So better integration will take place and linkaging, cross sector collaboration again. These are the key terms that we can mention here with regard to this topic of startups. और इंडिया वैसे भी इज द थर्ड स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम, थर्ड लार्जेस्ट स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम इन द वर्ल्ड. So it will act as a catalyst for the Startup India movement. Next, export promotion scheme extended. So RoadTap, that is the remission of duties and taxes on exported products. So they revise the rates downwards so that the outgo remains with the budgetary allocations. So DT is domestic tariff areas, are areas that are not under special economic zones or are designated or export oriented units. Next, Ladki Bahin may affect other subsidies. Gadkari. तो मुख्यमंत्री माझी लड़की बहन योजना. So huge funds are needed and no certainty and timely payments of subsidies in other sectors. So here we can talk about the funding management, how we can manage the funds, and the scheme, whether it is centrally sponsored scheme or central sector scheme. Further, asset reconstruction companies should change their orientations. So ARC shifting focus from loan recovery to turnaround specialization would help India's economy. So, Majli, what is the meaning of this term turnaround specialization here?
So focus from loan recovery initially, again, when these bad assets, they are sold to the asset reconstruction companies. The main focus is to how to recover the amount from the loan, which the bank was not able to do. So here, like specialization can help in terms of, like as it is mentioned, to turn around specialization. For example, we need to have specialized ARCs for different sectors of the economy so that they are having those dedicated and expert skills to deal with it. But again, for that, we need more of skills training, more capacity generation. At the same time, more funds are also needed, and tracking the functioning of ARCs and monitoring it also is very important. So we are having already like regulators. We have RBI, we have then IBBI is one thing under the IBC Code 2016. So
And
specialized meeting for different sectors is one thing that it is focusing so that they become more robust and more proactive.
hmm, and इसमें we will discuss regarding insolvency and bankruptcy कि इसमें majorly two steps can be taken. First is the liquidization of the assets and second is the restructuring of the company. कि जैसे कि NCLAT and National Company Law अपने ट्रिब्यूनल कैसे even that can help in the restructuring of the bankrupt companies.
So restructuring under IBC and then ARC is functioning, that needs to be in sync, because again, liquidation should be the last resort. But in case of India, we have seen that cases which are resolved, more or the maximum number of cases has went for liquidation of the companies, which was not the goal initially. Goal was to go for solution for restructuring and making that business survive again and function in a healthy manner. So there also the role of ARCs can become important.
Hmm. So it is again regarding skill building and capital to support the turnarounds. So management institutions जिससे कि better skills can be developed and funds के लिए again private credit, especially alternate investment funds. So they can be used.
And also one of the provisions under this SARFAESI Act is that you do not require the permission of Supreme Court or the judiciary when it comes to selling off the collateral by the banks if there is an NPA. So even this has made easier. Things has been made easier through this act.
Hmm. Securitization and reconstruction of financial assets and enforcement of security interests. So that's all for today. Thank you everyone for joining. So major topics that we discussed today were again regarding the nuclear energy. कैसे उसमें the private sector it can play a major role. Further, we also discussed regarding the gender, the key terms that are related to gender, like what is the difference between gender and sex, what are the different thinkers and their works upon it. So we discussed about the gender sensitization and also the social constructivism theory apart from the gender essentialism. So these were the key terms in this article. Further, दारा साहेब फाल्के वर्ड की हमने बात करी जिसमें it was introduced in 1969 और 1930 में जो फर्स्ट फिल्म बनी थी हिंदी फिल्म राजा हरीशचंद्र उसके रिगार्डिंग द डायरेक्टर ही वाज हिज नेम वाज दादा साहेब फाल्के जी तो उनके ऊपर दिस अवार्ड वाज क्रिएटेड फर्दर वी आल्सो डिस्कस रिगार्डिंग द elephants and even the biosphere reserves which are nearly 20 that are in India. So we talked about the national parks that are near 100 and even the various wildlife sanctuaries that are near 500 to 600. So we talked about euthanasia, semiconductor में क्या क्या areas हैं and also regarding the taxes, what can be the reforms, etc. And what is the current situation, कैसे we can create more rationalization on this regard. And the discussion was also regarding bullet trains with regard to India and Japan's collaboration in terms of the infrastructural progress. So thank you everyone for joining. We will continue with the next set of important topics and articles in the next session.